What's up, Maniacs? My name is Max. I'm a wrestling fan, wrestling enthusiast, WrestleManiac, if you will. It's at the end of my day. I was ready to sign off, enjoy the rest of the evening, chill out, relax, and all of that. But some relatively big news has come through. I don't think anyone was expecting this. This has come from literally left field. I'm sure you can see the title of the video. WWE Raw is officially moving to TV-14 as of Monday. As of Monday, the 18th of July. Like, it's happening. It's happening. It's been reported as of Andrew Zarian of the Matmen podcast. He's kind of been a very reliable source in recent times. This is mad. This is very mad for fans, fans of wrestling, fans of especially the old days of WWE, right? We haven't seen this since, 2007, 2008, something like that. So yeah, very, very mad. Big up everyone that's watching live. Big up everyone in the chat. We're going to get to your comments, so keep dropping them in there. But yeah, this is very, very mad, man. Subscribe if you're new here. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate that very, very much. If you can hit that like button, let's get people in the know. Let's let people know what's happening. But yeah, immediate reaction was, oh my God. Like I said, I was ready to chill out for the evening. I seen the group chat blowing up. Big up everyone in the group chat. And yeah, the news is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I hope you all are well. I hope everyone's had a good day. We're going to get into this. I'm going to read through an article and we're going to chop it up and talk about this and, kind of see what are the possibilities now going forward for WWE. This is one of the many shackles on the company. One of the many shackles on the company that is kind of giving us a substandard product, if we're all completely honest. This product isn't anywhere near where it should be. But with one of the key shackles coming off, like I'm saying, this could be a positive step in the right direction. Obviously, we're still curtailed with, a 3-hour show. But if WWE are allowed to be a bit more free with their creative, positive direction, or at least a positive move in the way that us wrestling fans want. You still need decent creative writing the stories and someone with half a brain at the top saying, yes, this is good. Yeah, that's bad, or whatever the case is. You get what I mean? So this ain't the answer to everyone's problems. Let that be known from now. Like, we're excited, but this is half the job, really, if you get what I'm saying. This is halfway there. We still got a lot of work to do to get this product back to where it should be. Again, big up to you lot in the chat. Everyone watching live, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, firstly, we're going to get this cracking by jumping into the story. Again, like I said, so this was reported by Andrew Zarian. Hella, outlets have picked it up right now. I'm going to read you guys a story from Give Me Sport, written by one of the chief editors over there, Louis Dango, friend of the channel. Big up, Louis. Massive change, man. I really can't believe this. WWE is doing away with the PG era with Monday Night Raw next week, set to be rated TV-14. This is going back to the good old days, potentially. Let me continue reading. Andrew Zarian of the Matmen podcast is reporting that from next week's episode of WWE Raw, the show will be rated TV-14. That's a big change from what we've previously seen with Raw and Smackdown shows being rated as PG since 2008. They go on to say, as of right now, there's no word on what is happening with Smackdown, which is broadcasted by Fox, as opposed to Raw, which is broadcasted on the USA Network. So this may just be a move for the new USA Network. Maybe things like numbers and that are dipping. And yeah, they want to see, okay, is this a way that we can kind of fix things? You know what I mean? Like just kind of get things a bit better, get numbers where they need to be again. There is no talk right now on whether SmackDown is going to follow suit in regards to this. There's no word on why WWE have opted to move away from the PG era, but it's something the fans have been calling for quite some time now. I know that's right, but boy, maybe something will come out. I don't really know if they disclose that kind of information, and we'll get into that in a second as well. The article, just to continue, says many fans look back fondly on the Attitude Era of WWE, mainly due to the risque storylines, which was allowed to happen because the show was TV-14. Now, a couple HMAs in the chat, big up them man there. I'm not really here for the risque storylines like that. I'm here for the blood. I'm here for the violence. I'm here for what is more of a serious product. So I guess with the change to TV-14, I'm looking forward to that kind of programming a bit more than, you know, sexy ladies and all of that kind of stuff. That will change in 2008 with WWE moving to the PG era, having to have characters and storylines that were more suitable for children once again. But that's all about to change, with Raw likely undergoing its biggest change since it became a 3-hour show back in 2012. So imagine that. In 2008, they went PG. 2012, they became 3 hours. So like I said, the shackles have been on, but hopefully one by one, we're freeing the man then. Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot to come out, you know, in regards to this story over the next couple of days and stuff. Very, very interesting story. It is obviously very early stages right now. Let me jump into the chat. Like I say, big up you guys. Hit the like button if you've just arrived. Dan Williams, big up Dan. He says, well, was this confirmed? Like I said, Andrew Zarian, Matt Men podcast that came out today. That's what's been said. And all the other outlets now, your Give Me Sports, Wrestle Talk, they've all picked up the story, which would lead us to believe, you know, there is some truth in it. And like I said, Andrew Zarian has been a very reliable source in recent times when it comes to breaking news and insider information. Nay TKO, big up you. He says, WWE being PG since 2008. This is crazy. 100%, bro. 100%. That's, you know, we're looking at nearly 15 years of this PG nonsense. And let's not get it wrong. There's been some good stuff in this time, innit? It hasn't all been, you know, some of the weaker stuff and that. But this is got potential, especially, you know, we got SummerSlam round the corner. We've got WrestleMania next year. This could be good. This could be good. Big on my bro Gigi. Gigi says, pour one out for the PG era. Bro, yeah, you know me. I'm not strapped with booze right now, but there's booze in the household. We'll pour one later. But yeah, it's had its time, innit? It's had its time. Like I said, some good things were birthed of it. Probably more bad than good, but some good things happened in this time. But it's all about now how we can kind of move forward with this. But like I said, this is like half the job. This ain't the whole issue. The creative has still got to be better than what we are getting. Nay TKO says, you think AEW forced them to try to turn back to TV-14? I mean, people will spin this. People will say this 100%. Like, AEW is on their necks, especially in terms of, okay, put it this way, not in terms of ratings. Obviously, WWE are still, you know, pulling in bigger numbers than them. Obviously, WWE's are older, more of a legacy product and stuff like that. But the success of AEW, its arc of success over the last 3 years, will probably make them think, yeah, look at this. Like, we can probably do something here. And USA, I think, is an important component to think about in all of this. They're probably thinking like, well, our numbers as a you know, network the Raw broadcasting on our channels it's not really getting better. It's stagnant or diminishing. So why not try something else? Why not try what these guys are doing and what is clearly working for these guys? You see what I mean? So you can't help but look at your competitors in these situations and think, right, I'll have me a bit of that. I'll try a bit of that and see if that works out. So yeah, I would say AEW, maybe not forced, but definitely an influence on what seems to be this decision going forward. Dan says, well, Heyman did foreshadow it when he said he's going to get Roman to shove his hand up Brock's ass and rip out his heart from there. There's been a couple times in the last couple of years where some mad stuff has been said, whether it's just language being used, or yeah, stuff that can be deemed a bit more violent like this. So listen, these kind of guys, the Heymans and all of that, they're from the school of, you know, TV-14 or worse. You see what I mean? They're not used to playing within the confines of these rules of making a product for kids. So I'm happy that the potential, again, because this is all potential, this is down to creative. Yeah, this is a TV thing we're discussing today, but creative still need to do their job. So I'm just happy some shackles have been released so that creative have the opportunity to flourish a bit more, or at least on Raw. Like I say, there's no talk of SmackDown right now. Lincoln, big up Lincoln. He says, adrenaline in my soul, pouring out blood all over the floor. Yeah, man. When Cody returns, the blade is back. The blade will be tucked. Cut yourself. Yeah, man. Pour it. Big up NK. I'm here for the blood, man. Blood is so important for me and my wrestling and stuff. There's been arguments that in AEW it's been done a bit too much. Listen, I like blood in it. I like blood in wrestling, so I can deal with it. I don't believe in too much or anything like that at this point. GG, the shackles are off. Shout to Mary Mary, 100%. Take the shackles off, man, so I can dance. Listen, this product can become a lot better. And if I may, there's friends like Gigi has said in the group chat, something like this is what could get him to kind of, you know, pay attention back to WWE. So a fan that has lost interest in WWE and maybe looking at other products now, if they're thinking, well, the kind of stuff I like has potential to come back to WWE, that's opportunity for them to tune in. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Looking forward. Nabil, bring up the bro Nabil. He says, I'm very interested to see how this plays out and what they do with it. 100%, bro. 100%. This is a very interesting position they've put themselves in. And like I say, as early as Monday, we ain't got to wait and have like 4 more weeks of dead TV before this comes into play. I'm saying that Monday might be dead. You see what I mean? But at least we now know it's going to kind of hold them more accountable, because it's like, well, you can do this, you can do that. There's no more of the, oh, you know, stepping on eggshells and, you know, they don't want to upset this sponsor and this and that. You see what I mean? Like, they can go the extra mile now. They're not making a product for children per se. The bro Anafi, big up Anafi, he says, so what? We're getting blood now. Boy, it looks that way. It looks that way. I hope this isn't just a move for blood in the product. Like I say, better creative would be nice and all of that stuff. But yeah, this is definitely, you know, en route to blood and, you know, all the other good stuff that we love from our childhood. Love. You know what's interesting? Obviously, they do this. It's a money move, isn't it? The whole PG stuff. But what child has ever come out and said, "Oh, like my wrestling is too violent. I don't want to watch that." Bro, this is what we were raised on. This was ingrained in us. You get me? Like, this was wrestling growing up, and now we're kind of forced to watch something that's for the youngers, innit? And the funny thing now is, you ask the youngers now, like, do you guys enjoy this? And they poo-poo it. They're just saying, You see what I mean? Like the presentation is one thing that everyone loves about WWE in terms of the aesthetic value of WWE, especially when you get to WrestleMania and stuff. Feels like you're watching something massive. But apart from that, I've never heard kids, you know, kind of moan about they ain't getting, you know, it's too bloody or it's too violent or this, that, and the other. Like, bruv. GG says here, I think this is very smart. Raw leans more towards the adult stuff, and you keep SmackDown for the younger audience. You get your blood on Monday and get Madcap and get Madcap Moss on Friday. I hear it. I hear it. I hear it. I mean, for God's sake, the show's called Raw, innit? Like, live up to the name at least. Live up to the name at least, man. Like, this is time to give us that raw, uncut. There's times where Dynamite has ended in the last couple of years. There's certain angles, like right in the main event angle, that, you know, something mad's happening all over the arena or whatever the case is. And it literally takes me back to, you know, old school Raws and stuff like that, and how those shows used to just descend into madness right at the end and just go off screen. And it's like, I have to watch next week. I literally have to watch next week because this show ended in a mad, mad way. And this is what I'm hoping we kind of get back towards, gripping TV. You see what I mean? I mean, for us that are out here creating content around this stuff, we're going to tune in anyway, innit? It's just what we do. But at least make it worth my while. Sometimes I watch Raw and I'm thinking, okay, what can I pick up on? What segment was popping that I can talk about for you guys? And there's nothing. I ain't turning on my camera just for the sake of being here. Hi, YouTube. Nah, like, it's got to be worth my while. So I'm looking forward again to the potential of Raw being good. But I like the idea of Raw being Raw and SmackDown being, you know, the PG product, if that's what they want to go ahead with. But hopefully SmackDown gets better because the booking of that show has really dipped in recent times as well. What? Man said puppies are coming back. Guys. Let's focus on the product and not these aesthetic differences that may come with this change. I want like more violent wrestling. That's what I'm after. But yeah, big up you guys in the chat. We're gonna keep going through these comments, and I want to get you guys' opinions on: do you think this is just Raw going Raw and SmackDown? Should SmackDown make the move as well? Should SmackDown make the move as well to becoming a TV-14 product? Do you think that will help SmackDown? Do you think this should just be an overall WWE move, or are you just happy with it to at least be, you know, one program? Let me know in the live chat. And for everyone watching live, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button as well. I appreciate that. Sean the Toy says, I don't even know if that's PG. Uncle Laurie, big up you. He says, bra and panties matches with Bianca and Nikita Lions incoming. Now, this is where this could become a problem. Because that guy, yeah, Vinnie Mac, he's still in the company. Stephanie is the foil. She's the face, is the CEO for now. But he's still around. So with TV-14, yes, we're all thinking from a wrestling perspective, the excellence that can come. But there's this side of it as well. We can never forget that. There is this side of it as well, where it's like, oh my gosh. And to think, we were maybe like some of us young men, young boys watching that stuff and enjoying it and stuff like that. Maybe not even enjoying it back then. Now, it could be a bit embarrassing. You see what I mean? It could be a bit embarrassing watching this kind of stuff. Embarrassing for the talents as well, especially if they don't want to do it. I'd like to think this isn't where it's going. You know, AEW have a TV-14 product, and we don't see anything like that, you know, on their product. So I'd like to think WWE would follow suit and behave themselves and just book a better wrestling show. Emphasis on the word wrestling, and not bra and panties, mudslinging fights, pillow fights, and them stuff there. Sean Detroit says, thank you, WWE. Yes, I appreciate this. I appreciate this change to the product. Hopefully, like I say, it's a positive one. This has been something that is a very, fans have been asking for this for ages. We've been literally begging for the product to get better. And this is one of the key things that can, drive it the right way. Imagine the possibilities. We've got all kinds of gimmick matches in WWE. Imagine a real Hell in a Cell match as we used to know Hell in a Cell. A cage match as we used to know cage matches. Yeah, like that kind of stuff is the potential to really put itself back on the map. Tell really good stories where you can really express violence and stuff like that. I know I sound like I'm blood hungry. I know that's probably the case. What's coming across right now, but this is what I believe wrestling should be. You see what I mean? So it's important that they use this as an opportunity to kind of get back to the essence of the product. Again, I don't know where this stands with things like money, financials for them, because I'm sure with moving away from PG, that could cost them a bit in terms of parents not wanting their kids to tune in. It might be a bit raunchy or violent or this, that, and the other. Merch sales could fluctuate because of that. Ticket sales, I believe ticket sales for WWE is already a thing that's kind of on the decline. That will possibly be affected. Kids going to shows. I think, like I say, as long as they kind of focus it more on wrestling rather than risque kind of content, we'll see. We'll see. Like I've been saying, the creative is still an issue. And now it's, we've done our bit in terms of removing the shackles of this PG stuff, and you can make more gripping TV ultimately. But creative still need to do their job. Mex is the kind of guy to remind you what presents you didn't get on your birthday. Gigi, I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Like, honestly, like there's a lot of positive to come from this news, but at the same time, like I'm saying, man, this is half done. It's half achieved. There's a lot more that they need to do in this instance to really get this product to where it needs to be. Like, I want people to be able to tune in to WWE and be satisfied. Same way we tuning into AEW and we're satisfied or more than satisfied because they're over delivering. Like, that's what WWE needs to return to, basically. That thing where it's like you can't wait to see your mate so you can talk about it. It's lost that. It's completely lost that in recent years. So again, I look forward to the opportunity for things to kind of go back to, as we knew it, as when we were growing up, especially. Big up Sean Island. He says, thank you, Stephanie. Is this a Stephanie move? Is this a Stephanie move? Like I said, we know right now she's the CEO of the company. She's the chairwoman. We know that's probably just a facade, and the people that were in charge before are still behind her making the decisions. At the same time, is this maybe still Vince McMahon maybe losing a bit of his grip at the top? Obviously, we saw further allegations came out a week ago or so. I've literally just become so tired of this story that I didn't even want to cover it on any of my channels. I just thought, this guy is in the mud. Like, let's stop kind of glorifying him in it, because ultimately what he's been accused for is serious stuff. So yeah, I didn't really want to give him any more shine. But I would love if this is a move to, part of Vince stepping down and getting out of the way, and like a new regime really coming to light, whether that's being led by Stephanie and or her husband Triple H, maybe some other people. Is this Nick Khan? Because Nick Khan is he's the money guy, he's the financials guy. Is he seeing this as an opportunity to possibly make more money, get more viewers in, return to the days of old. This could be that. This could be you know, any one of these people at this point. Of course, we don't know for certain yet, you know, if we're even gonna ever know, you know, what's the reason behind this move. But I'm here for the new regime. I think a lot of people are. Vince has definitely had his time. He has been brilliant at times. He's been very stubborn at times. He's made TV for himself a lot of the time. So yeah, I'm here for the change. Nabil says, low key feel this is a Vinnie Mac ploy to get fans on his side whilst his madness is going on. Excellent point, Nabil. So on the contrary to what I've just been saying, this could literally be that as well. Vince McMahon doing something that he knows the fans want. So, you know, the fans come back in their droves and like, yeah, Vince McMahon. Like we saw when Vince McMahon was coming out on TV the week of those allegations, the people in the crowd were hailing him, bowing to him and all of that kind of stuff. And to be honest, at first, I put it down to, okay, maybe a lot of these people in the crowd are casual fans. They don't really know what's happening on the internet, what his name is being dragged for. But obviously he came out the week after, that, and it's by then it's out there. People really love Vince. And just like Nabil is saying here in this comment, this could be a ploy to get people back on side while he's going through a tough time, while his name's being dragged through the mud, while his company is ultimately in jeopardy because of things that he has done in the past. So yeah, that's a very, very good point. This could be another kind of power play to, you know, manipulate people and all of that. Very, very good point. This is why I rate you guys, man. Big up all of you guys in the chat, man. Some good conversations, some good points coming out. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you haven't. I appreciate that, guys. Afo, big up Afo. Afo says Cody is pulling out the knack live on TV. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say to that. Listen, Cody is potentially one of these people that can now thrive, especially with the position that they're putting him in as like top guy, basically. He can thrive, come back and tell the kind of stories that he probably wanted to tell over in AEW, didn't get an opportunity to because he lost his grip on creative, as per the story goes. So yeah, a lot of man can do a lot of crazy stuff now. A lot of man can, you know, take their characters to that next level sort of thing. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this. It's good. It's a good step in the right direction. Uncle Laurie says, I hope they have already started bulk buying Spanish announce tables. Yeah, man, they're going to be a center of attention now, innit? Going through the table every episode. Like I said earlier, like I'm hoping we get back to the days of crazy Hell in a Cell matches with crazy spots, safe spots, but crazy spots. Cage matches as well. The Elimination Chamber. You guys have surely heard me say this before. It looks like a jungle gym. It looks if I take my son down the park, that Elimination Chamber of current day is what I'm going to see in the park. Something for kids to climb and go inside, and you might as well build a slide into the current day Elimination Chamber. Like, let's get the Elimination Chamber looking greasy again. Remember when Eric Bischoff debuted that? Grease, bro. That thing looked mad. Let's get it back to looking like that, because yeah, thing looks like a jungle gym. But yeah, there's a lot of potential for a lot of crazy spots, mad matches, and all of that kind of stuff. Afo says, R.I.P. Premium Monclizzy Wrestling. I don't think Monclizzy Wrestling is going to go anywhere, really and truly. I think we're still going to get really polished, high-grade stuff. I just believe the essence of the story will be better now. It shouldn't be as vanilla as it has been. We need to get high-level stories now, because you can lean on certain insults. You can tell certain darker stories. You can use things like blood to accentuate stories. And then you can still get a Monclizzy wrestling match at the end of that. It doesn't have to be, you know, all kind of mad, high-flying kind of stuff and jumpy wrestling. I still think we're going to get good, high-quality WWE-style wrestling. In essence, it's the stories that should improve from this point, because they've got this shackle, as we're calling it, off them, of PG wrestling, PG era wrestling. and it's now going to be TV-14. Uncle Laurie says, not being funny, but today's youth watch worse stuff on TikTok and Netflix, so WWE shouldn't hold back if they can book properly. Big facts. Big facts. Big up Uncle Laurie. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, no kid has ever complained about wrestling being too violent, too gory, definitely too raunchy. They'll watch that. You see what I mean? And while me personally, I'm not asking for the raunch stuff back. I just want more realistic, better told, violent stories and stuff like that. Kids are seeing worse stuff on social media. Kids are going to cinemas and going to Netflix and seeing some mad stuff that isn't of their age and stuff like that. But again, like Uncle Laurie has said here, like I have been saying throughout this, it's still down to WWE to book better, book properly, book good stories. This is only half the job done of this shackle, this crutch being removed. They still need to do their bit in all of this. GG says, and rejoice for the rebirth of Raw Underground. Now, I don't know. I don't know if Gigi's being. This could be an idea. I mean, ultimately for me, Raw Underground was a missed opportunity. Raw Underground should have been their kind of UFC third hour, just making things a bit more gritty, but I guess still within the realms of PG, as it were. I guess now they don't really need Raw Underground if they're going to go, away with the PG stuff. And this is just going to become TV-14. So it's, listen, the possibilities are endless here. Guys, put in the comments, yeah? Let's have a quick conversation. Put in the comments anyone that you think is not thriving now on the product. I know that's a lot of man still. But anyone you think is not thriving right now, but you feel like with these shackles being lifted, this person is going to thrive. What wrestler is now going to thrive because there's a lot more leniency with what they can do? Give me some names. Let's talk about some guys and girls that could possibly take things up a notch, or we can just see them in a whole new different light. Because yeah, these shackles aren't about no more. Let's see who guys come up with. Alpha says, I just stopped watching the product 2 weeks ago. I'll go running back if they pour it. More blood, for sure. Yeah, the product hasn't been good, man. The product hasn't been good recently. It really hasn't been good. And, the way they wanted Money in the Bank to be a stadium show, that just fell to crap because none of their big names was going to be available for it. Then they moved it from a stadium to an arena. And then, to be fair, Money in the Bank was a decent show, but they didn't treat it like it was one of the big five that they wanted to make it. And now we're going into SummerSlam. SummerSlam don't feel particularly, special either right now. They're still obviously a couple of weeks away from that show. But this could literally have been a spanner thrown in the works to really get SummerSlam going and get us as fans thinking like, yeah, I'm tuning in for SummerSlam because, the weeks of TV going into that show have been great. And with that news as well, I'll just mention, obviously for a lot of us, we've seen that WrestleMania tickets are going on sale next month. Literally in less than 30 days, WrestleMania Hollywood next year, tickets are on sale. 2-day event, 2-night event, as it has been recently. I'm guessing this is an opportunity to really sell tickets for that show if the product can get better between now and April. If that product gets better between now and April next year, WrestleMania is going to be the one, honestly. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. Like I said, I could see some names going into the chat. Anyone that you think is now going to thrive because of PG era is done with, put their name in the chat. Let's have a conversation about this. Let's have a conversation about it. Who is now going to be the guy or the girl because they haven't got any more shackles on them with their promos, with their stories? I want to hear from you guys. Joey Clark, big up Joey. He says, I don't think it will go back to TV-14. As we know, everyone gets our hopes up that the Attitude Era will come back, only to get our hopes and dreams dashed as always. So again, just for everyone, I don't think this is like a rumor that is going back to TV-14. It sounds like this is pretty much a done deal because they've already said as of Monday, we're getting TV-14. This doesn't sound like it's going to be WWE are in talks to do that. This sounds like a decision has been made. USA Network are turning WWE Raw TV-14 as of the 18th of July, which is Monday. So just being optimistic, Joey, I think that we can look forward to a better product. Attitude Era, as we all know, is the bar. It is the absolute bar. That is some stuff that's not going to be recreated ever again. People will always say, oh, was the Attitude Era that good? For a lot of us, you have to remember, for a lot of us, we were kids in the Attitude Era. Yeah. A lot of us were children watching that stuff and absolutely falling in love with wrestlers and stories being told and larger than life characters. So nothing is ever going to hold up to what or how we felt as a child watching this product. You have to remember that. But let's be optimistic. Let's give them the chance. Like we've been saying, they still need to book a good show. This is half the problem solved. They still need to book a good show. Big up Jonesy. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says, I'm happy. We all are happy. We're all looking forward to this, bro. He says, imagine Roman telling the Cardiff crowd to shut the F up. I mean, that would be fun. That would be fun. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how far on the spectrum in terms of language that they go. Like even when we watch AEW and an F-bomb is dropped, they do tend to still bleep it on certain feeds and stuff like that. So we may not be getting the pure rawness, but like I said, we probably will be getting some more colorful language. We probably will be getting some more colorful storylines. So let's see where it goes. Uncle Laurie says, Judgment Day definitely coming to mind. Cool. So guys, just for those that are just joining and stuff like that, big up you guys. Subscribe if you're new here. Hit the like button as well. We're talking about wrestlers now that is going to flourish because the shackles of PG are gone or going. Yeah. So please put in the chat anyone you think is now going to do really well within their presentation, within their promos, because things like the boundary of having it being all nice for kids is gone. Yeah. And Uncle Laurie says here, Judgment Day definitely come to mind. Judgment Day have been hurt because of Rhea Ripley's injury, and Judgment Day have been hurt because of ultimately they've taken out the leader, and they've lost a bit of their direction. They want Judgment Day to be a supernatural group. I want the best of Finn Balor. I can't lie, and I am probably one of the few people that like Damian Priest, so I really want the best for him too. So hopefully this could be a bit more sinister. Judgment Day, I would like to see that. That could be fun. But yeah, I'm not sure how much WWE are invested in this group right now. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says Chad Gable would be great. Bianca Belair when heel will be great. Yes. Yeah. Chad Gable is a character that I think we've all come to love. He's finally kind of got into his own. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, with a bit more leeway where Chad can take it. Bianca Belair as a heel, for those that watched her NXT run, brilliant. And she was very, very green there. When she was in NXT, she might have been like wrestling for what? 2 years? About 2 years when she really hit her stride in NXT. So she needs a character change for sure. Like, even if she's going to stay as a face, there needs to be something within her that changes. She's becoming very boring. As much as a fan as I am of Bianca Belair, and I'm a very big fan of Bianca Belair, as a TV character, she's becoming very boring. So they need to do something with her. And this, like Jonesy's suggesting, could be something that they use as a catalyst to change her a bit. Jonesy also says Finn Balor, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Yeah. going back to what Uncle Laurie said, Judgment Day in general, this could be an opportunity to, make them just a bit meaner. Maybe again, WWE have been very cagey with language such as kill, war, all this stuff that, signaling for a gun that Finn Balor used to do. Maybe we see stuff like that start coming back as well, because, they don't have to be so PG with it anymore. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says, gritty storylines are a must. No longer insult your fans. Make every show must watch. Exactly. This is the opportunity to, at the very least, leave shows on a crazy cliffhanger. That it's like, all right, next Monday, I need to watch Raw. I need to catch this. You see what I mean? So, yeah, stories need to kind of be fleshed out a bit more. Creative are going to have a job on their hands, honestly, because now we know this shackle has been released. We're going to be on their necks like never before. Like, we're on their necks now because WWE is the wrestling show of our childhood. You see what I mean? And we're disappointed. Let's be completely honest. We're disappointed with the overall product we get today. Now we know it has the potential to improve. On their necks. Definitely on their necks. WWE and Thomas Fan 444. Big up you. Thanks for coming through. He says, it would be nice to see Austin Theory say, go F yourself live on TV. But since it's turned into TV-14 again, we can now see that. Definitely. Like I said, there's big potential now with, WWE's product, how they portray certain talents, things that we haven't quite seen before, like because they don't want to step on eggshells, they don't want to annoy their sponsors, they don't want to annoy, people that put in big money, shareholders and all that kind of stuff. Things have been loosened now. Like it's time to play it up a bit more. Let's get back to not necessarily the days of old, but let's create a new kind of grittier product. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says, I was 13 in the Attitude Era. It was amazing. Everything seemed so much gripping. It was, bro. I know. The Attitude Era was something to, it is more or less set the bar for where wrestling should be. And, in recent times, we see that the argument was the Attitude Era ever that good. But boy, I know when I was living through it, I thought, mate, I have to tune in. I've got to tune in every week. And I know I'm older, I'm wiser and stuff now. It's only so much I can suspend my belief. But AEW has brought back those kind of feels, not necessarily Attitude Era feels, but it's brought back more serious wrestling feels on a mainstream product. So it's time to up the levels again. With WWE, for sure, it's time for them to up their levels because Lord knows they've been slacking since this change of, PG first in 2008 and then, going to 3 hours in 2012. But like I say, the shackles don't be released now, boy. Monday, new era on Monday. Get me? Afo. He said, Afo says, NK and I were just talking about a demon type character gimmick that Asuka played during her time in Stardom. I think she would thrive with the shackles taken off. That's a great shout. That is a great shout. So anyone that knows of Asuka back in the day, pre-WWE, her character was Kana. And very much this kind of crazy Asuka that we see now, but turned up. Yeah, turned up. Kana was amazing. Kana was out here wrestling men on a regular thing. Like, so yes, Asuka is someone definitely that could benefit this and turn her character up a couple notches because, things have been a bit more released and it's a bit more fluid now with this move to TV-14. Big up Barry Allen. He says, do you think Liv Morgan will be a star? Interesting with Liv Morgan because Liv Morgan is very much a babyface, very much a beloved babyface at this point. Like, it's a bit. I can't see Liv Morgan doing anything mad. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they use Liv Morgan, even Bianca Belair that we were just mentioning as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how they kind of, use these guys that are very much baby faces. Though it's probably more like turning the heels a bit madder against them is what's going to go well. Jonesy says, I think Roman will be an even better heel in PG-14. Yes, I agree. The issue is Roman actually going to be around? Is Roman actually going to be around to kind of fulfill that? Because that's been the issue in recent times. Obviously, Roman, he's part-time or is he not part-time? We just don't see him enough. So, yeah. Uncle Laurie again says Drew McIntyre will finally chop a man with his sword. Look, I'd love if they just take away the sword, take away the kilt, let's get man, take away the Scottish warrior, all of that kind of stuff, and just make him just a bit more greasy again, sort of thing, like without all these gimmicks and all of this kind of stuff. That would be better for me personally. WWE and Thomas Fan 444, just watch even though it's TV-14. John Cena will still keep it PG. John Cena's he's the flagship man in it. Like, once someone is so ingrained in their character like John Cena, it will always be hard to change him and turn him and all of that kind of stuff and give those little character tweaks. But we don't need, because John Cena is not around so much, he can still be whoever he is. It's the people around him that are maybe having programs with him when on the off chance he comes in that can now turn it up a notch. And Nabil says Raw being TV-14 will definitely have an influence on the bidding war of 2024. Again, Nabil with the fire takes. Listen, obviously the likes of MJF and just in general, other AEW talents that will make the jump one day to WWE, because I think we've all kind of learned now, especially within the last 6 months to a year, that AEW isn't the nirvana that everyone first thought it was. People will be looking for more TV time. People will be growing their stock over there and get offers from WWE. So not just MJF into 2024. There will be others that will look at this and think, if this product improves, if it's no longer PG, if it's more akin to what AEW are doing, then yeah, I can just go somewhere else and kind of keep my character, hopefully, and, make some money over there. Why not? Del Boy's Core Shop. Big up the bro, Del Boy. Big up Rest Things every time. Judgment Day about to start doing Nollywood Judge. To be honest, all the voodoo and judge stuff that WWE run, they've ran it PG or no PG. So I don't know if anything's really going to change on that front. It's just maybe more sinister with it. Like, obviously, back in the day when we saw flipping Stephanie McMahon nearly get crucified, it might be a bit sinister. You get what I mean? But the judge, the voodoo, it's always been there. Afro says, I want the best for Finn too, back in New Japan. Yeah, I don't know what's like the time on Finn's contract, but Finn's got to be on his last kind of run. Unless he's on an AJ Styles kind of flex and think I'm just going to stay here for the rest of my career, earn a good wage. Yeah, I would like to see better for Finn as well as others, because it's been mentioned in the chat. Barry Allen says, do you think Liv Morgan will be a star? I think I've read that one already. Jonesy says, we'll see Judgment Day doing more corporate ministry style stuff. Yeah, so definitely there's potential for that. He says, it's such a shame Sasha has gone. A PG-14 Sasha could have made her the greatest women's heel wrestler of all time. 100%. But, I mean, in my opinion, they've never booked Sasha correctly. They've never booked her consistently. When it's officially announced that Sasha Banks has left WWE, I'm about to do the maddest stream or the maddest video ever, because Sasha's never been, as much as the fans see her as the golden girl sort of thing and treated well and how good she is, the star she is, I don't think WWE have ever seen her like that. And maybe now that the potential of losing her, they're beginning to kind of see that, yeah, she's massive. Uncle Laurie says, Shayna as a monster heel, still time to resurrect her career. I 100% agree, bro. WWE just don't like her. And if Vince is going, there's potential for this, because obviously we know Triple H, NXT, Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is one of the greatest NXT women's champions of all time. One of maybe top two, top three. So if Vince isn't there, because Vince has come out before and said he don't see nothing in Shayna Baszler, then there's a lot of potential in Shayna Baszler. But we won't know that until I say Vince moves on. Barry Allen, he says Liv Morgan has a badass face. There's potential in that. There's potential in that. Faces no longer have to be these vanilla characters that kind of get bullied. They can have some edge to them. So yeah, 100% agree. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says Raw for teens and grown-ups and Smackdown for kids and families. Yeah, that seems to be what other people have suggested in here as well, which I think it makes sense. It's good. It's a good way to kind of go about it. So yeah, I'm down for that. Del Boy says Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. 100%. Like we're saying, the problem hasn't been solved with the shackles of PG being removed. Raw is still a 3-hour show. Raw still has poor creative. So this is a help. This will help, but ultimately there is a lot more they still need to change. There's a lot more that still needs to happen to get this anywhere near back to, AEW level, or at least the days of old, or whatever the case is. They've still got a lot of work to do. WWE and Thomas fan says, wait a minute, I just checked. Monday Night Raw on my guide still says PG. It probably will. Obviously, this is breaking news. So, yeah, maybe, give it some time, and maybe you can report back to us and let us know. But yeah, it's been said 18th of July, which is Monday, that it's moving back to TV-14. So yeah, it's looking like it's a done deal to me, mate. Jonesy says, I remember during Attitude Era waiting all week for Raw to air on Friday night on Sky Sports, best part of the week. And so I can't remember what I used to catch it on, because Lord knows I never had Sky. But I don't know, like maybe all kind of recap shows. I know Sunday Night Heat used to obviously come on Channel 4 and show a lot of recaps and stuff like that. I think Sky One, maybe Sky One is where I was watching stuff on cable. But yeah, man, it's hopefully those times of the urgency to watch the show will come back. WWE and Thomas fan says WWE was making me so depressed. I watched 2010 Impact Wrestling. There's a lot of people that have left. There's a lot of people that have left and gone over to other products because of this very reason of the TV rating and making more of a watered down product. Like we say, hopefully we're returning to some better days. Andrew Athene, big up Andrew Athuani, sorry about butchering your name there. He says, this is going to be awesome. Back to the Attitude Era days. I love it. I can't wait to tune in this Monday. Monday is going to be very interesting, bro. Monday is going to be very, very interesting. Back to Attitude Era days. I don't know. Let's not get our hopes up completely about that. But this is definitely a positive move. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says, I'm hoping they bring back the hardcore title and start using weapons and we get TLC matches on Raw again like the good old days. This is the potential. This is what we can be looking at now. Not a vanilla show. A show that ends in such a way we have to call each other and be like, yo, did you see that? You better tune in and watch Raw. And then we're gagging to watch Raw the next week. Pause. You see what I mean? Like it's got mad potential now that things can pick up. Business can literally pick up. Big up Eric Clark. He says, can't wait for WWE to go back to TV-14. Monday, Eric. You ain't got to wait long, bro. Monday. Big up Starguts. He says, your channel is cool. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, brother. Again, for everyone that's new here, I appreciate you coming through. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. I'm going to close it off in the next 5 minutes. So yeah, get all your last comments in and stuff like that. Daz Reynolds says, hi, do you watch all wrestling? So AEW, WWE for sure. New Japan, I watch probably about 70-75% of New Japan. Other stuff like Impact and other kind of promotions, I just catch highlights and individual matches and stuff like that. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says, I wonder if this is down to Stephanie McMahon now legitimately running WWE. I don't think we know for sure if Stephanie's legitimately running WWE. Again, we know Vince is still around, although it looks like his allegations have intensified in the last week or so. So we'll see, but I'm hoping there is a change at the top. I didn't necessarily think it would come this way through Vince getting himself in trouble, but I'm hoping that there is a change at the top in line with all these changes we're discussing today. Andrew says this is going to be good because once Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams come to the main roster, those guys can turn it up and become big stars like they are doing in NXT 2.0. I agree. And not even necessarily with the raunchy stuff, but I would love to see Carmelo and Trick kind of resemble like a bit of a Shawn Michaels and Triple H, brotherhood on the main roster. I think that could be very, very good for them because they are becoming, if they're not already, fan favorites down in NXT. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says Shayna's contract is up, sadly. Well, that's that. Maybe her contract is up soon and she's not signing a new one. Can't blame her. Has not been treated right on the main roster. She's very, very good. We've seen how good she can be in NXT, so that is a shame. Daz Reynolds says, what do you think will happen to Seth next? Again, Seth is someone that, again, with this change, his character can go up a couple notches. I was just saying the other day on Wrestling's podcast that I don't think Seth has anything to prove anymore. Seth has won these titles and been that guy right at the top of the card. And right now he's having a lot of fun and putting others over and having great matches. This could be something that, really pushes Seth, possibly reignites a desire to want to do better as well in his WWE career. Because Seth Rollins is excellent. He's an excellent, excellent wrestler, one of the best in the world, whether you want to believe it or not. So yeah, I'm hoping this move can also kind of reinvigorate his character a bit more. Jonesy Chats Wrestling says Sky One had Smackdown. Yeah, it did. Saturday mornings, if I'm correct. So yeah. We have last few comments now. Hazabul Islam says, will WWE change Raw's logo and arena? I mean, arena is something that kind of changes every week. I'm guessing you mean general presentation, title, stuff like that. Maybe we do see an aesthetic change with this change coming on Monday. I guess we've got to tune in and see. Yeah, Christian's up for that as well. Big up Christian. He says, Hazabel, I hope so. Yeah, we could do with something like that, definitely. And I'm going to make this one the last one for today. Uncle Laurie says, we don't want Attitude Era back. We can't live in the past. However, we can have a new era and build up some new megastars. This is a fantastic comment to end on. We can't have the Attitude Era back. Guys, if you think about some of the stuff we saw as children that was happening in the Attitude Era, it can't run on TV today. You and me and your dog and your cat, we know it can't run on TV today. But we can have a new era. We can have new stars. We can have better stories. All of that stuff can come. And yeah, we don't need to see, women being degraded and, like I said earlier, pillow fights and mud bath fights and this, that, and the other. Monday is a brand new day, people. Or at least potential to be a brand new day. And like I said, we're building to SummerSlam. So hopefully this product is getting better in the next few weeks as we get closer to SummerSlam. Just to kind of reiterate what we talked about today, WWE is doing away with the PG era. As of Monday next week, the 18th of July, it'll be rated TV-14. This news was broken by Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast. WWE has not been TV-14, since 2008. It's been a long, long time, people. But Monday, it's coming back. Hopefully here on Monday, there'll be something newsworthy to talk about and I'll drop a video for you guys. Other than that, you can check out the video I dropped earlier today on Keith Lee and Swerve winning the AEW tag team titles. That's on the channel now. So have a watch of that one and let me know what you think of the whole scenario over there with the transitional champions and Tony Khan hot potato in the titles. I want to see what you guys think about that. But yeah, drop your comments on this video as well. I'm still going to be listening, reading all you guys' comments and responding to them. I appreciate everyone that's been in the live chat today. Subscribe to the channel as well. Like this video as well. I appreciate all of that. And you can follow me on the other channel with the rest of the Man Them Wrestlings as well. We're going to have a new podcast up tomorrow for everything that's happened in the past week in wrestling. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you